You know, it was exciting. I mean, it's something, I've been a beast with my chokes all fight camp. A lot of people kind of categorize me as this huge brawler, not realizing that, I mean, I'm a huge submission person, can't even talk. And it's crazy because finishing up my fight camp last week before I came out to Vegas, you know, my teammate, I think he had enough of those. He went through a bunch of those brutal chokes, and it's just, I don't know, I have the strength and everything, and it's just, once I get around there, it's kind of something you got to go for. And, I mean, I've learned that every second in the cage counts, so there's no second to waste. And I heard that clack for the last 10 seconds, and I was like, I still have plenty of time. Went for it, and, you know, I mean, I give it up to Ashley for not tapping. I mean, she wanted to go to a second round and everything, but I felt it as soon as I had it in there that something was going to happen.
How many stitches did you have to get post-fight?
I ended up going with, I think he said 9.
Okay.
9.
And, I mean, your opponent changed, obviously. You were going to face Holly Holm originally, so how much did you change over anything in your training and camp for this fight?
You know, it was very frustrating with the Holly Holmes fight. I was extremely excited. I've had probably one of the best fight camps that I could ever have. I'm gonna bleed here. And I mean, you know, when you're preparing for a 18-time world boxing champion, and I mean, this girl who's a southpaw and everything else, stand-up fighter, and then all of a sudden the opponent switches and you go into, Ashley's more of a wrestler and things like that, and an orthodox fighter. So I mean, it switches up a lot, but you know, this is MMA, and when it comes to it, I mean, I train all around. So I think that's what separates us from everybody else, is we always adapt. This sport's going to constantly throw those curveballs, and you just go with it.
Could you feel her go out there?
Yeah, actually I did. I got the choke, and, you know, I fought back in 2012 in Hawaii, and I was fighting for a world title. I remember getting a choke, and the girl tapped, and when she tapped, I released it, but the ref didn't stop us. He didn't see the tap. So it was just kind of when I got this choke, and I sunk it in pretty deep. You can pretty much tell, especially in this sport, you know, I mean, where you're going to position yourself and everything. And when I flattened her out and just went for it, I was like, oh, I think she's out. But in my mind, I was still preparing for the second round. And when the bell went off, I kind of just waited for the ref a little bit, just from that lesson I've learned. And then when I stood up and kind of seen her just stay laying there, it was a good feeling.
What happened in that fight in Hawaii when you thought you had the tap and you didn't get it? Did you end up winning that fight?
Yeah, actually, 2 weeks prior to that fight, I got into a motorcycle accident. Went in there with a busted knee. Kind of just, I didn't want to let my dreams slip away. I was one of the first women to fight for a title there, and I was like, you know, I've worked so hard. Went out there. She actually almost knocked me out in that fight. And then I came to it, stood back up, and I just got her in a deep choke, sunk it completely in, grabbed my wrist, pulled, and kind of just locked her head here, carried her to the cage, and I was just holding on for dear life. And when she tapped, I got excited, but then the ref didn't see it, so it was just kind of, I mean, you always got to be prepared, you know?
You have a Ultimate Fighter Season 18 tattoo.
I do.
When did you get that?
I got it shortly after the Ultimate Fighter. A bunch of us girls kind of went and did it. You know, it's that milestone in your life. Where, I mean, this kind of changed everything. The Ultimate Fighter wasn't our only path into the UFC. I mean, we still got to chase our dreams, and exactly what I said with the every single second, because, I mean, it's true, every single second in that cage matters, and, I mean, seconds are a long time.